Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Qmine and the newly approved smart contract on the Qubic network, the QRWA smart contract protocol. Alright, let's start off this video with a post from G-Town Diamond. He is a great account to follow on X. Make sure you follow him at G-Town Diamond. He has really cool updates on Qmine and Qubic as a whole. He also has some good updates on Garth as well. Yeah, make sure you give him a follow. Shout out to G-Town. Here, let's get to it. Hello, Qubic community. By the way, this was from this morning, January 7th, 6:14 a.m. Massive Qmine update. The Qmine the Qmine QRWA smart contract has officially been approved by the Qubic core team. Next milestone, quorum approval. This will happen through a vote by the computers. And here's the real alpha. Yes, this is the best part. We've talked about this before in our prior Qmine videos. I'll put links in the description if you want to get caught up with the Qmine lore. Qmine holders are not passive observers. These emojis. You won't just watch the voting process. You'll actively participate via Qmine voting when it goes live. Low-key, it's kind of how it is already on the website. Remember this, Qmine are quorum participants with 7 votes. So there are 676 votes that are, or computers that have votes. And the Qmine ecosystem has 7 of those votes. So owning a piece of Qmine also literally gives you like power in voting on the actual like chain. Like imagine owning a voting power on Ethereum or like Bitcoin or something. Like what goes on with the protocol. Like that in itself is a value adder, right? Not to mention the stuff we're about to get into. Make sure you stick around until the end. No spectators, no sidelined or not sidelined. Real governance, real influence. This is what is being built on Qubic, or this is what building on Qubic looks like. I was making up my own post in my head. All right, nice. All right, now let's get into what is Qmine, right? If you're new to the, I know a lot of you might be followers and familiar, but you might be also new to the channel looking for some opportunities. All right, so let's get into what Qmine actually is. All right, so Qmine is the first RWA, meaning real world asset project on the Qubic network. All right. This is the website. You can check it out, qmine.io/home. This has pretty much all the info you need on Qmine. Let's just do a quick little overview. Qmine revolutionizes mining by tokenizing physical mining assets on the Qubic blockchain. Yes. So join the future of decentralized mining with the first real-world asset token on Qubic. Our innovative approach combines traditional mining power with blockchain transparency, giving you direct access to mining revenues without technical complexity. Dude, this is like, once I realized what Qmine was, dude, I FOMO'd like crazy, and I'm so glad I did. Because this thing 10x like in like days. So yeah, owning Qmine tokens earns you a piece of Qubic emissions, like direct emissions from the miners, right? It's like, imagine if like there was a token on Bitcoin that if you held that token, a portion of Bitcoin emissions went directly into your wallet. Like, wouldn't that be like a crazy valuable coin? This is what that is. And not only does it bring you revenue, it's also giving you voting power. It's also going to be a DAO token, right? And that's just for the token. Now let's get into the token yield, or no, let's get into how the tokenomics first. So when it was launched, 80% was for public offering. By the way, total supply is only 1 billion, which is crazy. Crazy. So 80% went to public offering, 150 million went to a reserve. Do we have a juicy reserve? 20 million for a charity fund, which is what's the word I'm looking for? Noble. 3% to the founder, which is fair because this thing brought so much value. He deserves 3%. So they raised funds, and a lot of them with this public offering. So it was sold for 250 Qs through Discord and the QX exchange. All right, 250. Now let's look at how much they're worth. 2.9 thousand. It was at 3K, but Qubic just took a little hit. Watch, let me show you. Qubic was about to take off right here. This was at what, 4 a.m. 7.6. Wow, it got spiked down like a volleyball spike. Spike out. Nah. Stay down, buddy. We got a buyback coming. But yeah, that just goes to show there's a direct correlation with the price of Qmine and the value, or the value of Qubic and Qmine. There's gonna be like a price parity at some point, and the prices will have to balance out. But yeah, super bullish. But that's neither here nor there. So let's get into the yield. Holding Qmine tokens right now earn you about a 1-to-1. Let me see. Oh, my face is blocking the revenue. Okay, check it out. Oh, look at, like, for instance, look at this epoch. Oh, obviously it varies based on what's going on with the mining rigs, but look at this. Look at it. You got 2-to-1 Qubic for the Qmine for the Qmine being held in your wallet. For instance, if you hold 100,000 Qmine tokens, that epoch you earned 200,000 Qubic. Like, it's like free lunch. I know they say there's no such thing as free lunch, but once people realize that's why this thing mooned so, and it mooned so quickly, and it didn't come back down. It just like stayed up, and I was just like, it didn't want to go back below 2,500, and then it recently has been going back up due to this QRWA approval. So yeah, let's get into the smart contract. So yeah, this is so much value is being added with the smart contract. Like, let's get into that. So let's go straight to the GitHub so we can. I already read over it, so I'm not gonna read it word for word. Not all of it at least. So check it out. Here's a quick summary of it. All right. So the QRWA smart contract, right? Not the token. The smart contract is a decentralized governance and revenue distribution protocol designed for the Qubic ecosystem. So essentially, this decentralizes the distribution, the payments, and the voting, right? And the way they have the stream splitter, like right here, 2.2, it's really like these guys went to work on this, and they've been testing this for about, I think, over a month. They've been testing it over Christmas and stuff like that. All right. It serves as a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, for the Qmine asset. Dude, DAO tokens, when you have value on a protocol, DAO tokens, they go up. DAO tokens, dude, Qmine, I'm telling you, it's gonna hit a dollar. It's gonna pass $1. Anyway, for the Qmine asset, allowing token holders to govern protocol parameters and manage a diversified treasury of assets. If you know, you know. The contract automates the ingestion of revenue, right? Qubic, Qs are all cubic. Applies a configurable fee structure for operational costs like mining or like electricity and maintenance, and distributes net yields to Qmine holders 90%, while 10% go to the shareholders. Shareholders meaning like when the smart contract gets launched, there are 676 shares that get bid on by the community, and by holding a share, you earn a portion of this 10% that they're talking about right here. Right, so that's why IPOs are a big deal, and a lot of like hundreds of billions of qubic get burned on these. This one might burn some trillions. I don't know. This one might burn 1 trillion. All right. So yeah, 90% goes to us, the smart contract holders, or not smart contract, the Qmine holders. 10% goes to whatchamacallit, the shareholders. Dude, this is so juicy. 2.1 asset management. So there's two parts or two types of assets, right? So there's the Qmine and there's the treasury assets, right? The stuff like the smart contract shares and the qubic that comes through mining. Revenue streams and the splitter logic. So there's two pools. One that gets qubic from mining, and then one that gets qubic from asset dividends, like the smart contract shares. And so this pool is subject to fees, like electricity, because it comes from mining. And this pool doesn't get subject to any fees. So it's pretty cool how they split up the two pools, so fees don't get kind of siphoned off of the smart contract shares. And the remainder, so yeah, if you move your Qmine or sell it between an epoch, you don't get the qubic. So instead of it being in limbo, it goes to the deb. So that kind of incentivizes you to keep your Qmine still. Governance module. So yeah, the rest is kind of the nerdy stuff. It might bore you. Yeah, the rest kind of reiterates and goes into details on like other things. But yeah, this is where this kind of gets rid of a lot of the decentralization worry about the funds and things like that. So this is really bullish, and all that needs to happen is the smart contract needs to be approved by the computers, which, I mean, if it doesn't, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. I don't know how this thing wouldn't get approved. It's pretty much I'm not gonna say it's a sure bet, but this thing's gonna get launched, and we'll see how that does for the price of Qmine. I feel like this smart contract itself might be a catalyst on its own for qubic, because when word gets out about the actual yield, like this is real yield. It's not like yield being minted out of thin air, even though it's not. It's kind of is like but it's the emissions from qubic mining, right? You're mining AI, and you're also mining Monero. So you're actually doing, it's like as you're producing real yield, like real value. Once people realize they can get qubic, and with that qubic they can get Qmine to yield them qubic, right? And then when the seed starts to germinate in their brain, I sound like Carlos Matos. We're gonna germinate.
We have the seed that's gonna germinate. and it's going to explode.
Oh my.
Once they see the actual value of qubic and the value of qubic goes up, dude, qubic is like, it's gonna drag Qmine up along with it. I'm like so bullish on this project. This thing was at a 500, but like below 500,000 market cap when we got up to it. Now where are we at? It got up to 5 million. Now we're at 2 million and the 667 holders. Dude. Oh, not to mention, this is also pretty bullish. Let me see, was it here? They're also planning on expanding the mining operation. This was many months ago to get at least 100 CPU rigs. Make sure you check out the Discord, by the way. I'll try to leave a link in the description if I can, of the video down below to the Qmine Discord. All the alphas there. This was many months ago. I'm sure the price of this increased. He got a quote on some mining rigs, 100 CPU, which was almost like, I think he was saying it would like more than double the payout. But I think since then, RAM went like up 2 or 3x. So I think that might slow down growth as far as the rigs go. Unless qubic, goes up. That'd be pretty interesting. As you can see right here, a lot has changed in the RAM market since the proposal. Since they cost the same as a house, what would be the adjusted price for RAM? He said memory prices more than doubled, which will impact the overall cost. However, we'll wait for the qubic price to recover before taking the next steps. So yeah, we're just waiting on a little qubic price recovery for the expansion, but that's planned. He also, let me see. He also got BTC miners. Here we are. ASICs have arrived for testing. So he's gonna start mining Bitcoin along with what do you call it? Qmine. I think he's still running tests. I think it might be too noisy where he's at. Cause what was the thing I just, oh, there it is. Yeah, he tested them and he had a soundproof. He says, all right, check it out. With BTC mining tests, did you soundproof the room? I think I remember you mentioning it can be really loud, or is this if it is up and running properly? Hope all is well, brother. Still testing. So far, really loud. So yeah, that's really interesting. If we start to get like BTC somehow, or like if he takes those BTC rewards and buys qubic with it and distributes it, I'm just wondering how that's gonna work. That's gonna be interesting. And there's also one more tidbit I wanted to touch on, because somebody asked me about Doge mining and how switching from XMR to Doge will affect the project. Here we go. Other question: considering qubic will focus on Doge soon, why not buy Bitmain Antminer L7? And my man said, because I still don't know whether Doge will be mined using ASICs or AI. That's interesting. I need to know more about that. Doge mining with AI sounds like a fairy tale, but let's see. Yeah, it's the fact that that's even a thing, ASICs or AI. What? That'll be dun dun to be continued.